Welcome back. This story is called The Cave. This was a story from my junior year in college. I was at Missouri, Columbia, Mizzou. I moved into an apartment building. It was a small apartment building. There were 4 apartments, 2 floors, and in front of the building was an old house that had been converted into a bunch of different apartments. So there were probably 10 or 12 students living in this house. Each had their own room, and then there were 4 apartments in the behind the building where the parking lot was. So I'm in this new apartment, and I'm in the garage, or I'm sorry, I'm in the parking lot, and I see the back door of the house. Remember, there's this house in front of the apartment, a big house, an old house, and the back door is down a small staircase, like 3 feet down, and somebody had painted across the top of the door the words, "The Cave," the cave. So I was curious. I wanted to know what's going on in the cave. So I knock on the door. This guy answers. I remember he was fat, greasy, had black hair, had a mustache, and I don't even know whether he was a student or not, but he lived there in this apartment called The Cave. And I introduced myself, and I said, "Hey, let me in. Let me see what's going on." So he and another guy had the entire floor, the entire basement was theirs. And there were rooms. It was really a weird setup. There were like doors that were like didn't go anywhere, and like closets, and it was a very strange setup. And at one point, I hear this woman giggling, and I'm like, "Who's that?" And he goes, "Well, that's my girlfriend." And I said, "Well, where is she?" And he said, "She's hiding in the closet." I'm like, "Why is she hiding in the closet?" He goes, "Because she's too embarrassed to see you in public. She had really bad acne." I'm like, "I don't care. I want to meet her. She's your girlfriend. Get her out of the closet." Brings her out of the closet, and I meet her. We walk into the kitchen. Okay, now I'm in the kitchen of this basement apartment. And sitting on the stove is a frying pan, like a cast iron frying pan. And in the frying pan, there was a 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch of congealed grease. Okay, it was white. The entire surface was white. It looked to me like an ice skating rink for ants. That's what it looked like. I could just imagine little ants crawling on it and skating around on this pan with this layer of grease. And I thought that this guy was just lazy and had not done his dishes. So I made a joke about it. I'm like, "Oh, you didn't wash your pan this morning." He goes, "Oh, no. It's always like that. I was just cooking some bacon." So what he did is this guy would like accumulate this grease in this pan every time he cooked bacon. He wouldn't clean it out. He would just cook it again in the same grease over and over again. I'm like, "Oh my God, that's disgusting." So I went back to my apartment, and I didn't see the guy again for a while. And then one day I'm home in my apartment, and there's a knock on my door. And I open it up, and it's this guy, the guy that lived in this cave apartment. And he's holding in his hand this cup, like a teacup. It had like a little crack in it, like it looked like trash basically. So he's holding this cup, and I open the door. I'm like, "Yeah, what can I do? What can I do for you?" And he says to me, "Do you have any grease?" Grease. That was the word he used. Grease. "Do you have any grease?" And I immediately thought about that frying pan that was with the congealed grease on it, and I said, "No." I said, "I don't have anything." That's what I thought. That's what I thought he was looking for. And I said, "Well, I do have Wesson oil." And he goes, "Oh yeah, that's great. That's great." So I took my Wesson oil and I poured it into his cup, and then he took it back to his apartment, back to the cave. That was in his mind what grease was. So that was the story of The Cave. Be sure to read my book, Broccoli Time by Dante, available now on Amazon Books. Out.